who, by your limited knowledge, is pretty affluent, somehow tied to the jewelry industry, so to speak. And, well, it would seem that Melina thinks that you are a group worthy of an audience with her father. And then there's also that little matter of Togar having that sneaking suspicion of being watched, and, well, yeah, it was kind of true. But, yeah, so now you are making your way down the road toward Vramsgate once again, with Melina and her guardian, Eldon, also traveling in your company. And that's where we left off. So as you pick up kind of toward the evening, as you were kind of in the home stretch going towards an inn, what would you like to do as dusk is kind of upon you and you're traveling down the road?
Well, does Melina keep going?
I mean, she doesn't seem all that deterred by the setting sun, but um, you know, if you would like to address her and maybe suggest stopping off for the night, you could do that.
Um, well, up until this point, how far have we like how long have we traveled?
Um, so let's see. You're okay. In this travel day, you're about 10 to 11 hours in.
Right.
And
Okay.
how far do we have to go?
I mean, you should be coming up on an inn. I mean, by I can't remember who recalled, but there was some recollection that there's an
It
inn
was
probably
me.
within. Okay, then yeah, probably within the next 20, 30 minutes you should find someplace.
Okay. Say, we should probably stop by this inn for the evening.
Yeah, I agree.
All right. And yeah, so as you carry on for the next few minutes, you do eventually see kind of the pinpricks of lighted windows in the distance along the road. Um, and as you kind of approach this rather modest-looking building, you do see that there does still seem to be a bit of activity going on. So the building itself is a bit aged, so to speak. Seems to kind of sag on one side and seems stable, if not exactly sturdy. Out front, you see a sign kind of on a post planted along the side of the road with what appears to be a winged horse with one of the wings quite damaged, probably from being hit by some sort of cart. But the sign itself reads "The Pleasant Pegasus." Off to one side, you see kind of a fenced-in pen and stable area. You see a couple of pigs just kind of asleep in the muck. And further back in the property, you see a pair of horses kind of tied off in the stables.
And you said the place was called what? Sorry.
The Pleasant Pegasus.
Okay. Got it.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks.
and you can see that the entryway of the building itself is kind of, think classic, almost like saloon kind of swinging half doors. Um, and from inside, you can hear sounds like sound of a lute playing, and maybe a couple of rowdy individuals just having a good, if maybe drunken time. Um, Overall, it seems pretty calm. I mean, there's booze involved. There are going to be a couple loud drunks, if you will, but the crowd in the bar is probably not much more than half a dozen. Um, Things are kind of winding down from the things. But yeah. So how would you like to proceed?
I guess I'll just go up to the walk up to the bar and say, we need four rooms.
That'd work.
There, 4 rooms.
All right.
I guess
I mean, we don't need more.
Bungdo and I can probably.
Yeah,
share.
might as well. We'll save some money.
All right. So you see the well, tavern keep or innkeep or kind of both from the looks of things. Begin to like kind of make eye contact with you as you request these rooms, and then without saying anything, you see kind of like that lame ass joke where somebody acts like they're walking down the steps, but you just can't see their feet.
Mm-hmm.
Except that's totally what's going on. There's a set of stairs, and you can see now that it was a halfling manning the bar, and you hear you see just kind of the top of this middle-aged looking halfling's kind of like top knot ponytail thing, just kind of bobbing behind the bar, and and you hear the kind of rattling and clanging of keys being kind of straightened out. It sounds like there might be something kind of tangled up, or maybe the key rings got crossed or something. But after a bit of scraping and tugging and clanging, you see the knot once again begin to kind of dun, 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 back toward where you had first engaged the halfling innkeep. And as he kind of steps up the noticeably creaky wooden stool that he kind of has set up for himself near the end of the bar, he just says, all right, and you have gold?
Yeah. And I'll walk down and say, man, I wish they would make these, these bars a little bit more our height. I shake my head.
Bungdo chuckles and just kind of like, damn, I don't think I can float yet. Never mind.
And how much is the room? Or how much would the rooms be?
He kind of like strokes his chin for a minute and thinks, let's see, for the 4, probably, let's call it 2 gold, 5 silver.
I'll
pay for it.
Okay, I was gonna say, I'll look at Tragor and Tractor. Do you have gold? All I have is platinum.
Yeah. Said 2 gold, 5 silver.
That's correct.
Alright, I'll pull out 3 gold and hand it to him.
I reach over and pet the dog.
All right. And he kind of looks at you and says, would you like your change in silver or ale?
Ale for all of them.
You got it.
Point to the group.
All right. And he kind of, you see that there's actually a platform kind of built out all the way along the back counter of the bar. And he kind of walks along this catwalk to go and grab basically an armful of mugs that he then begins, filling up and kind of 2 by 2, bringing them back across the way, setting them on the bar, providing you all with drinks.
Okay.
And says, "Is there anything else I can get for you? You know where to find me. And if you don't, just look for this." And he, points up at his hair again.
Oh, is there a room outside in the fenced-in area for my steed?
Probably. What is it? Some kind of horse or mule or something?
Drake.
Yeah,
Of
something
sorts.
like that.
He kind of like sticks a finger in his ear as if to clean it out. A what?
It's
Uh,
a
it's
bloody
pretty so-
dragon.
Yeah.
It's a flightless dragon, but dignified. It's trained.
It's not gonna like burn the place down or anything.
No.
It's not gonna eat my pigs.
No.
In fact, I haven't seen it eat anything.
Does it need
Oh, no,
to
it
eat?
ate a star
Sure,
fruit.
it's not hungry.
It ate a star fruit. Do you have any star fruit?
I don't know what that is.
Ah, shit.
Can feed it meat.
That's fine. No, it won't. I don't think it'll eat anything.
All right. Well, if you can give me your word that my pigs and the other guests' steeds will be safe and intact come morning, I see no reason why you couldn't put yours up. But let it be known that, you know the saying: you break it, you buy it.
Yeah, give me a second, and then I kind of like put my index fingers on my temples, and I telepathically tell tell my steed he can go in the fenced-in area. Just don't eat any of their livestock. There'll be food coming soon.
Okay. All right, and you get kind of just this vague return or response of just okay.
I look at the innkeeper and I just say he does this sometimes. He's a little crazy.
I can communicate to my steed with thoughts.
Sure, you can.
Don't believe me? Go look.
I wink and nod at him.
Go look. You'll be out there.
Yeah, he's kind of got this little smirk on his face as he looks back over at Togar, like, "Oh yeah, I see what you're talking about."
It is actually a thing that may need food. How much would that be? Just
How
some
much
meat.
does a flightless dragon eat?
Probably a few pounds of meat.
Right. Well, how about call it another 3 silver?
I'll throw 4 on the counter.
I'll give him another gold just in case he needs more.
All right. Does it matter to the dragon if it's cooked, or can I just kind of? And he kind of gives like this throwing motion.
Why don't
Probably
you-
doesn't need to be cooked, but don't try to just throw it in the mud or something.
Why don't you ask it?
The dragon.
I know, but
Yeah, but you can talk to it, so maybe get it its favorite snack, you cuck. Bungo will do it. Bungo's just kind of glaring at you with the stink eye this entire time.
Give me a second. I put my fingers on
Partially
my forehead.
because he's a druid and he wants to make sure that all the animals are treated right.
I'll put my fingers on my forehead, or not forehead, but my temples again. And would you like your meat cooked, or do you prefer raw?
Either is fine.
A little of both? Question mark.
Either is fine.
Okay. I'll tell the innkeeper or whatever that have like half cooked and half raw.
He gives you kind of a confused look, but okay. Yeah, whatever you want.
Just give him the raw part while the rest is cooking.
Kind of shoots another look over at Togar, like, what's going on with this guy?
He's a bit eccentric. If you would like, I will go out with you when you do that, just to prove to you that it's safe.
All right. Yeah. He nods and he kind of ducks into the back portion of the inn. You hear him. From the sound of it, sounds as though there's some meat on the chopping block, and he's kind of, portioning out what he'll be giving to the dragon and what he'll be cooking up for the second course.
Yeah.
He's had a long day.
It's true.
While this is going on, I haven't used my jug today, right? I don't think I did.
No, I don't think you have.
Look around and see that everybody else has got booze, so I'll say say poison, and I'll also pull out my poison vial and top it off, and I now have 1 full poison vial.
Okay.
So, and then I will just put the jug back and continue on.
All right. So after a couple minutes, you hear the chopping on the block kind of come to an end, and you hear sounds like the sizzling of meat on some sort of pan or skillet, as well as the smell of spices kind of begin to emanate from the back of the inn. In the meantime, the innkeeper makes his way back to the front, carrying what looks to be probably 2.5 pounds of raw, probably beef, cut into large-ish chunks, kind of just wrapped in a like a sackcloth kind of thing, and kind of looks at Togar. He's like, all right, I guess let's go meet a dragon.
All right. I'll head out. I'll follow him whichever way he takes and out to the stable.
Okay. So yeah, he kind of like approaches the front door and does the kind of like prop it open with your body kind of deal, and
I'll kind of grab him and say, you might want to leave your dog in here, though.
right. He kind of like looks over at this looks like a small collie of sorts, and says, "Okay, I'll be right back. You be good."
Okay.
And then there's just this long, protracted. But eventually, the dog kind of turns around and lies down on a little, looks like a bed pillow, kind of off at one corner of the inn,
Okay.
just giving a whiny, mopey look the whole time.
All right. I'll follow him out then.
All right. And so yeah, you exit out the front of the inn and circle around to the pens and the stables, and yeah, kind of just lying there and probably about the driest patch there is. You do see Trogdor's steed, this miniature platinum dragon.
All right. I'll take some meat from the innkeeper and just step ahead of him and say, "Hey." And I'll hold the meat out and say, "Here." And I'll I'm not gonna toss it. I'm just gonna kind of hold it and whatever. Let it take it from me, however it wants.
Okay. So yeah, as you kind of draw its attention, snaps its gaze over towards you and cocks its head for a second, and then seeing what you're holding out, kind of slowly approaches, not not cautiously per se, but just kind of questioningly.
Yeah. And I'll
Um,
in comment, I'll just say, Trogdor sent this for you.
okay. And the dragon kind of cranes its neck out, and
Yeah.
you can hear the dog whining through the open window.
Yep.
And eventually, kind of sniffing it, just kind of gently grabs the piece of meat from your outstretched hand, seemingly making sure not to take any of you with it in the process.
Yeah, like I'm holding it like at the very, very top and trying to like give it as much of a, room to bite as I can.
Yeah, and the dragon seems to be pretty aware of the need to not take your finger with it.
Yeah.
And I think something might need to happen here, so we might need to take a brief intermission.
Yeah, it's
It's fine by me. Let me grab a drink.
All right,
Yeah. So we are feeding the dragon.
feeding the dragon.
So okay.
Back in a minute.
Yep.